Oh, good gravy. Are we ready to go? We ready to go? Are we ready to go? I don't know. We've got the camera going, we've got the lights going, we've got the microphone going. Am I in focus? Can't see this bloody grid. I've got an idea. Yep, I think we're in focus, or the binoculars are in focus. I don't know. Just imagine that we're in focus and we're ready to go, okay? Hi everyone, I'm Xander, and I own a pair of binoculars, apparently. Very recently, I did a video called How to Write a Script in 7 Days. How did it go? Well, watch the film and find out. But I thought we'd do something a little bit new today, and it's called How to Learn a Script in 7 Days. If you know me, which you probably do, because who else would watch these videos? You will know that I come from an independent film background where we get given a location and then we've only got a set amount of time to make a film in it. And very recently we did an entire feature film in 6 days. So what I'm going to show you today are some little techniques that help me learn my lines. And if you don't get them all in 7 days, which I didn't, you probably won't get the whole script in 7 days. But it will give you hopefully a very good foundation to start with, so that when you get to your first day of shooting, you won't be completely clueless. So, here we go. So the first thing to do is get the script and read the whole thing through. Even if you don't really understand bits that are going on, just read the whole thing through so you can understand who your character is and what they do. And then once you've done that, you're going to grab your second person and make sure it's someone that you love or like very much, because by the end of this, they're going to be sick to death of you. Now, if you're doing the film in order, then do the film in order. If you're not doing the film in order, do it from the scenes that you're doing first. So if you know that day one is going to be scenes 21, 1, 6, then you're going to want to go 21, 1, 6. It's very tempting to do it in order, but luckily because you've been through the script once already by yourself, you know exactly what's going to happen. So there was method to the madness, believe it or not. Now the golden rule with this is repetition. So when you've got that second person and you've got that script in front of you, the first thing you're going to do is just go through it as it is scripted. If you're sitting down and you're relaxed, perfect. You don't have to get fancy yet about strolling about the room pretending to be your Shakespearean character. Alas, poor Womble. I knew him well. Then once you've gone through it, then you can focus on trying to learn a few lines from it. And when this person goes through the script with you, if there's a line that you can't remember, don't get them to say the line, get them to almost act it out with their hands. I know that sounds strange, but for example, if the line was, and then I gave her a photograph, and you're really struggling to remember that line, get them to almost go, and that would mean photograph. If you can get the second person to act with their hands as you're going through it, it's just going to help it kind of sink into your head a little bit better. What was I talking about? Get them to take note of the lines that you're missing. So for example, if the line is, and then he walked away, and you keep saying, and he walked away from me, get them to just make a mental note of that so that you do get that right after you've done the run through of that scene. And then when you're about 98% complete on that, and you're making the odd error every now and then you will move to that second scene that you're going to do. And when you do, you're going to do that first scene without the script, if you can, as much as you can. And then you're going to do that second scene, which I think we said was scene 1 in this case, with the script. So then as the foundation for that first scene is getting set, you're bringing in the new information. It's like learning a language in a way. The next thing is don't be afraid to take frequent breaks. It will get stressful and you will make mistakes, but if you can take frequent breaks, go for a walk, take the dog for a walk, take the cat for a walk, take the fish for a walk, that's going to really help you in the long run. And also get them to say the stage directions as well if you haven't already. So for example, if the stage direction was, and then he glanced upwards and noticed a sombrero, you would do it along with them as they say it. And then he glanced upwards and looked at a sombrero. I don't even know why I have this. So the next thing is to get them to get them to make the character sound different. For example, if they are a woman, get them to speak in a bit of a higher register. If they're a tough guy, make them sound a bit more like a tough guy. That didn't really sound like a tough guy at all. But you get the idea, it just helps make that mental connection between the characters. I don't know if there's a scientific thing behind it, but it helped me. So the idea is to try and keep yourself about 3 days ahead of what's going to be shot. With this film that we did, we had 6 days to do the film and I had to learn the script in 6 days. So by day 1, I'd already had the first kind of 3 days kind of planned out. So for a good rule of thumb, try to be about 3 days ahead of what you're going to be doing. By the time we got to day 5 out of 6, I started to really fumble my lines in places. If you can find a time during the day or throughout the day when you can sit down and learn these lines and you can stick to that, that's really going to help you out. So yeah, that's my advice, and you can take what advice of mine you like, or it might not work for you at all. So I've been Xander, you've been you, and I hope this has been helpful. I don't really know how to end this, so